Hello and welcome to Rarer Hot Wheels. Now in this edition we're going to take a look at some stuff that's not Hot Wheels. And these are still my finds from the 21st of April going around the flea market. And I found some nice little gems. Yes, they aren't Hot Wheels, but they are Matchbox and they are Corgi. And one, I'm not entirely sure who made it, but I like it. And I have featured it once before, way back. So let's get on and have a look at what I found. And if anybody you can tell me about the one I'm not sure about, then please let me know in the comments below. So on with the show. Right, first up on this trip into the dark side is this Matchbox Speed Kings Mini Haha. A kind of cool hot rod freaky mini with a radial engine and what looks like a World War II pilot driving it, complete with handlebar moustache. Now, I don't know a lot about these Matchbox or Corgi machines, don't know who made them, but I do know this ran from 1975 till 1980, and sadly this one's missing one of the RAF wrangles off the doors, but it's in pretty good nick, especially for what I paid for it at the boot sale. So yeah, the Mini, the Mad Mini, the Mini Haha. This blue beast is called Pie-Eyed Piper, and I'm guessing that is because of the injection stacks with all the pipes sticking out of the hood and the weed spreader exhaust with more pipes sticking out each side. And it looks to be based loosely on a Dodge Charger. The blue is really awesome, and this was from the Matchbox 75 range and ran from 72 to 77. And like most of these Matchbox products, they kept them the same for years, and it's very difficult to work out when within that period it actually came from. This is a Matchbox Roll-O-Matics Badger. Roll-O-Matics meaning there was something that was automatic when it rolled along, and in this case, as you rolled the car, the radar dish revolved on the roof of it. This one's in quite good nick, and usually by this age they've lost the radar dish. This one came from the Roll-O-Matics range, which was run from 1973 to 1980. There was a further edition came out in 1977 from a twin pack, which was olive green and not copper. Here we have the Donut Snack Van, and that is about as much as I can tell you about this, other than the fact that it's beige and it's got donuts on the outside of it, a cup of coffee, and the roof lights are painted red. And there's a guy inside selling something, but I have no idea who makes this. It says made in China underneath, and it's got wheels which are resembling Corgi wheels from the late 80s, but not. And I have no idea about this. Come on somebody, please tell me where this came from. Who made it? Anybody, please? Now we go over to the even darker side of Corgi, and in this case Corgi Juniors, with this Corgi Juniors US van based on a 70s American Chevy van. Now this seems to have been in production for quite a long time, through the 70s and 80s, with various types of wheels, with this one having Whiz Wheels style wheels on it, which I would say dates it from between 1970 and 1975 in its Coca-Cola livery. Now the Corgi Juniors were basically rebranded Husky with fancy wheels on them to compete with Mattel and their Hot Wheels range. Information is scant on this Corgi Rover 3500, the V8 saloon car that was introduced in Britain in 1976 and ran through to 87. Corgi followed it with several versions of this little model, and I'm guessing this one is a later years model, probably post 83, as it's just branded Corgi and not a Corgi Juniors. And post 83, Corgi didn't issue this very much at all, even though the car for real was still in production. For those of you who didn't know me, I'm not really into motorised bicycles, and this is the Stingaroo, and it's a motorised tricycle, and it has a V8 in it, so I guess that makes it okay. But this was introduced by Matchbox in the Superfast range and ran from 1973 to 1975, and is in quite purpley lilac colours, and looks pretty cool with a kangaroo's head on the back of the seat and a pair of big megaphone exhausts. But other than that, don't know much about it, but it is quite cool. Here we have the Flying Bug, which is a kind of a VW Beetle, with an aircraft tail fin and a pair of jet engines, and a guy sitting in the middle of it with a chrome helmet on. And it appears to be the German counterpart of the English Mini at the start of this video. Quite a cool machine, a very different machine, and I guess a sign of the mad 70s. This car was produced by Matchbox from 1972 to 1975. Here we have a Panavia Tornado. Yes, and it's an aeroplane. Yes, you're sure? Yep, you're seeing right. It is an aeroplane. And it's from the Matchbox Skybusters range, introduced in the early 70s. The Tornado came out in 1978 and came out in various liveries, and this one's in the Royal Air Force training livery, which I don't think was actually ever applied to the real aircraft. However, these models have been reproduced and reintroduced from time to time right up into the early 2000s, and I'm not sure if they've been produced since, but they are now owned by Mattel. And that's all for this time, folks. Get ready for next time when we're going to show you a whole bunch of rides from the land of the rising sun.